weekly Dama news coming at you every week here on the KENDERTAINMENT channel. Hey, what's up? I'm MJ. Thanks for joining us for another round. Actually, the past like 3 weeks, some shit like that. 2 weeks. We had to move the weekly Dama news over to the next week, and then it happened over to the next week again, then over to the next week again. And hey, but here we are now. I was like, gotta do it. Rylan, our buddy over at KENDRAMA, who's usually with us for doing these weekly Dama news, he'll probably be sitting this one out. He says he's gonna try to make it if he can. But usually we do this, actually we've changed the time a bit, coming back at this time that we did before. But hey, this is all just riffraff. We're here to talk about the Dama news that happened within the week. There was a lot of stuff that happened within the past few weeks since possibly this is the first live stream of August. So hey, we're gonna go right into it. Kendama World Cup. It happened. You probably know about it. You heard about it. This little event called Kendama World Cup happened in Hatsukaiichi, Japan, in Hiroshima Prefecture, the place where the kendama was created. Over in Hatsukaiichi, Hiroshima. Hiroshima is, well known for many different reasons, but one is the end of World War II, one of the places that the U.S. dropped an atomic bomb. And it's interesting how Hatsukaiichi is just about 40-minute train ride away from the heart of Hiroshima City. So it's kind of a cool thing just because the Kendama World Cup happens, right before August. That is, August 5th is the anniversary of, or 6 is the anniversary of the Hiroshima bombings. So it's just out, to put it out there, anyone who comes to the World Cup, especially if you're American, I highly recommend taking an extra day, going over to Hiroshima City and checking out the Peace Memorial Museum, because it is something that everyone should check it out. Even if you're, of course, not just American. It is the one thing that I really, really remember when I traveled there. The first time I didn't do it, we were in a car with a bunch of other people, but the second time, maybe it was the second time, when I went down with my wife and my kid, I was like, we got to do this. We're in Hiroshima. It's the thing, you have to pay respects. So it's an amazing thing. So everyone, if you ever travel, it is a great time. It is a great privilege to be able to go and check that out. It is one of the musts when you're hanging out at the Kendama World Cup. Definitely a thing I'd recommend. But hey, yeah, Kendama World Cup. It happened, right? Everyone watched. Takuya housed everybody. We the highest score ever seen in the Kendama World Cup. Of course, it was because of him getting out every trick he had listed. So if you didn't know, there is a number of tricks that you have to put down in your final run. If you are going for the qualification, if you sign up for the Kendama World Cup, you get two takes at a 3-minute sesh to try to get 5 tricks in. So in total, you choose 10 tricks to attempt to give you a high score to bring you to that finals, okay, for the next day. So within that, or apart from that, you can use that same list, or you can make a new list that happens for everyone who's in the finals. There's there's a meeting that happens for anyone who makes it in the finals the first day. Everyone goes to a room, it's all quiet, you're sitting down a school teacher style. Everyone's sitting at desks looking at the front, and Kota and Tamotsu is explaining all the rules and what's going to happen. And there you choose all of your tricks for the finals. And I could be wrong with some of this information because I've never been there personally, just for hearsay. And in any case, yeah, you choose your tricks. And then Takuya decided, I'm going to do, these tricks. I think you can swap up the order when you're playing. In any case, he's the only one that completed every trick he had on his list for finals. I forgot, I think digitally, online, Josh Flowgrove was really close to getting all of it. He only had one more. He went up for that inward lunar rising dragon steez and could not hold it, sadly. But if he did, that would have been it. And he possibly could have ranked higher. I forgot where he placed. But in any case, yeah, Takuya, again, got it all. Hence the ridiculous score that he got at the end for that competition that just put him, like, everyone knew right away. Once he got all his tricks down, if you were a competitor after him, if you did not get all of your tricks, there's no touching him. And just the way that it happened gave me goosebumps. Like, he had like 5 or 4 seconds left if you look at exactly when he finished, but still, it was down to the last few seconds. You know, he was going up for that 3-turn cushion tap to lighthouse, 3-turn cushion back to lighthouse, and then the 3-turn swap spike. And I think he had 2 attempts, and on the 3rd attempt he got it, and it was just like biting nails. Like, it was nuts. If you were watching live, I'm sure you felt it. Even if you watched it after the fact, I'm sure you felt it. The sheer, like, just like, oh my god, what's gonna happen? I want to cover my eyes, but I want to watch. Kind of like you're watching a horror movie and you're like 5 years old or some shit. It was kind of like that, but then he lands it, arms up, he's just like, what? Goes down, and just like, you know, Nobu and Jake hug on stage like right away. Everybody feels, I wish the camera I wish I was there to see the reaction, to feel what the rest of the audience was feeling, because you just see Takuya, you see what's on stage. Again, MCs hugging each other. Takuya gets off stage. Sue's right there bawling. I was talking with him. He was like, the whole time after that, Sue was just crying the whole time. Like, people were like going over to like congratulate him, and he's just like a slobby mess, just crying so much. And then see all the other players like come up and like, you know, high five Takuya and stuff. It was a sight to see, and it really, really, really gave me a it gave me goosebumps. It was such an amazing thing, and it was so dope to see. Hey, first time ever crowned world champ from the Kendama World Cup. Second time. No one, as of yet, in this history, has made it 2 times. Takuya has done it. One of the times, his first time, just 2 years ago, was online, the first online one. But now here he is. You know, I've said even myself that doing the whole competition online, you're in the safety of your own home, or you know, you're in your home base, wherever it is. You can have fans, friends, you know, your fans are there, your family, to help you relax and cheer you on and stuff. Even kind of like coach you as what to do, where if you're on stage, it is such a different feeling altogether. I'm sure anyone who has participated, who has taken a hand in any kind of competition where you're standing and kind of, you know, performing whatever, freestyle or open, in front of people, everything hits different. Or the lack of hitting, you don't hit tricks, you know, it happens a lot. You get the shakes, any kind of stall goes out the window, and there's a small number of people who can harness that nervousness and put it into a positive energy to then perform ridiculously. And we know, everyone who's seen any kind of competition go down, you know who it is. But here, yeah, Takuya proved himself. I mean, he didn't have to prove anything, but he proved that he can not only, you know, withstand the pressure of doing everything online, but on stage, World Cup, real life, IRL, took it. And it was just amazing. Amazing to see. So dope. Thanks everyone for joining right now. Yeah, even comfortable, yeah, playing in front of other people. It's crazy, and it's one thing that I always recommend people to do if you have a chance. Like, go to an event, even like during like hangout jams with your friends, like put on some music and just do a cypher. Do like a b-boy cypher where you're just going in, throwing down, like it maybe like, you know, miss 2 times or even once, and then you got to switch. Someone else has got to go. That really adds the pressure of performing or playing live. And it's just good because, you know, you need to break in those kind of muscles to get used to that nervousness, and then to harness it to become something that can help you the next time you're in it, if you're in a real competition. Amazing. Takuya. I have yet to see the boy, to give him a high five and congratulate him. I went to Sue Lab and congratulated Sue himself, but amazing to see. everyone who, if anyone took part in it, awesome, congrats. Hopefully everyone had a good one. But that was Kendama World Cup. That happened, right? So that was one thing that we missed. So another thing, hey, let's roll into more Takuya. It seems like he just outdid himself for the tap world record and hit 62 up on his Instagram. So we've, I think it was just a little bit ago where he hit, what was it, like 59 or something? He's pushing, or 60. So he added another 2. It's going to be going up by 2. So we passed the 50 mark. We passed halfway to 100. It has gotten a while to get there. I feel like there was a bit of a lull of where there's only a few players who've been able to reach this level. But once you hit 50, it's just a little more luck. Because you have the technique down already. These players have the technique. Sorry, there's hair on my hand. There's a technique that they have down. All they have to do is pretty much have the luck that everything just falls into place. String doesn't happen. It's not windy. You don't lose your footing to be able to get to 100. So the day's going to come. Right now it's at 62. The record for how many big cups were pulled up simultaneously by the professional Akimoto Satoru. So it is really, really amazing to see him push it. And I wonder if Tiblex is going to come and answer to this 62 with something higher. Who knows? Or Takuya is just going to keep on pushing. I hope Takuya doesn't wait for someone else to outdo him. I feel like he himself will be like, I'm going to keep on going. I'm just going to keep on going. So I hope he does, and it's really, really dope to see. Hey, other things that happened within the past few weeks and stuff that I just went through and picked up, because I don't want to go too far back because everyone probably already knows all the shit that happened. So just some of the things that I picked up as I was doing my quick search right before this. Deal with it. Hey, Alyssa, a staff, long-time staff over at Kusa Kendama USA, released another collab Dama with Deal With It. And, some people might be like, why does she do one with Kusa? And it's really, really dope to see how another company will be like, bam, I'm going to pick you up. I like what you're doing, and we're going to do a collab. And Matt Rice over at Deal With It is always doing that type of shit. And it's really, really cool. It's cool to see this second version come out. The first version, I think it was last year or early this year, I forgot exactly, came out. Had more of a pink tone to it. This one's got a lot of blues in there, a lot of cool colors. Last one was, warm. And there's a lot more detail that was put into this one. If you remember the first one, of course, they're both beautiful, but the detail is really high on this one. Which, for me, maybe just through the pictures, it seems like the detail was a little too fine. So, it maybe gets lost, but I'm sure if you're holding it in your hand, hopefully it looks as beautiful as it does, because there's a lot of intricate detail into the mandalas that she designed for this kendama. So it's really cool to see Alyssa. Go support her. V2, a V2 of the Alyssa mods, but I think the kendamas are the V4s of the Deal With It, which are pretty dope. I haven't touched my fufu too hard, but I enjoy it very much. As well, I like the lighter wood, so that is a walnut that I have back there. So you can get in two different woods if you like for the Alyssa V2, maple or bamboo. Hey, if you want a lighter wood, you'd opt for the bamboo. So that's really cool to see the variation that they put right there. Is that something that you guys like? Is that something that more kendama companies should do, releasing a single mod and then right away being like, all right, we got the maple because we know that's pretty much the staple now. It used to be beech, but now it's maple, and then a secondary wood that you could choose off of. Is that cool? Should someone add can the price change? Imagine if there was a normal maple one, but then hey, there's also a Purple Heart one, but it's an extra I don't know, $15 or some shit. Who knows? We're not sure. Hey, yeah, totally forgot. Someone dropped a question. Awesome. Drop questions in that little chat tool down, or the question tool down there with the question mark. Towards the end, usually I sesh for an hour. Towards the end, I will be answering some questions. So hey, drop a question, hang out. All right. I don't have too many stories, so it won't be too long until I get there, I believe. Another thing that, let's see, happened a little bit ago would be the Seoul Kendama. Yeah, announced during the Kendama World Cup. Seoul Kendama's Legacy collab. Now, Seoul Kendama is another one brand that has been doing so many collabs from like a long time ago, actually. Like Slayer's Club in Hawaii, like a long time ago, few years ago and shit. So they have been so active with collabing and working with other companies, bigger, smaller. Sometimes they're not even kendama companies. You know, their connection with round, I don't know. So it's cool to see them, hey, get their hands in that legacy sauce, if you will, getting that special kind of clear that a lot of people talk about. You know, GT's got their steam coat version. Collabs got the friction clear and friction clear light version. Who else recently? Of course, Legacy has theirs, and now also Kendama has their version in the Shibui lines. Really cool how they came out with these 4 different colors. It's not just a single one right away. Bam, here's 4 Shibui. Shibui in Japanese means like classy. It's like classy, like all like Shibui, like who, like a Shibui person. Maybe if you're thinking about like an actor or something, Sean Connery is like Shibui, like that's like, oh, that's a cool old man right there, right? So it really connects and it hits with the colors that they chose. And as well as there's not so much crazy design, there's nothing, it's just a solid color, bam, in there. And even the color choice is more on an adult side. It's not a very vibrant poppy color. So I'm definitely a fan. That green one, that like sage green, that shit's dope. Pretty nuts. And yeah, and it's a new paint. It is a new kind of paint that's out there. It's a clear. Probably, I haven't messed with one. I should have asked Chado when I saw him here at the Sioux Lab to just touch it. Can I touch it? And I didn't ask him to touch it because, you know, well, I mean, we're not super close. Any case, that's really dope to see. Moving on over to okay, we're gonna keep it Seoul Kendamas, everyone. Seoul Kendamas doing more collabs. They got 2 other collabs that are coming. One, okay, I said I talked with Chado, right? Him and Mr. Mitchell came over to the Sioux Lab, and I was like, you know, that's my town, so I gotta swing over and say what up. So I did that, and the collab that's coming up, that maybe you already saw the video for over up on YouTube, the Kendama USA Seoul Park Rec Tour video, movie I should say, is up. I sadly did not watch it yet. It is a big one. I was asking Chad, you know, it says movie in the title, is it really a movie? And he's like, you know, Zach Mags is working on it still, and that was like last week when he was in Japan still. He's like, he's still editing it. I'm like, well, it's cutting it down to the wire. But he's still editing it, and they're like maybe 54 minutes, almost an hour. And I was like, all right, that's a good, like, you know, Hallmark time movie that you see. So it is a movie. Really, really dope. I should watch. I should, you know, thinking of having a little dessert after this shit. Maybe I'll turn that on. In any case, so he filled me in, showed me some pictures. There is a new kendama coming out. There was, you know, the Park Rex collab Dama that Seoul and Kendama USA released during the tour. And hey, as a celebration for the movie that came out, they got a new Dama coming out. And it is a beast. It is called the Ranger. And someone might be like, hey, doesn't Newlay's Kendama have a Kendama called the Ranger? Yes, they do, but in this case, you know, Park Rex is a Park Ranger. Nothing to do with the military, which I believe Newlay's has more of a connection with, being a veteran and whatnot. But here you got the Ranger. It is a 63 sized centimeter, inch? What are they? 63 size Tama. back in the day, 2014, a lot of these guys right here, those are 20 size tamas, and then it went to 21, 22, and people have been messing around with that. There are a few 23s. One of another 23 is the Terra Prefects. Okay, if anyone picked up a Prefect, you might have noticed it's pretty big, and it's the same size as that. So if you want to think about what to compare it to, that is a what have I been saying? Have I been saying 23? 63. Yeah, I think I've been. Cool, right? Cool. 63 size tama. The Ken itself is also a big boy. I believe, Chado is saying that the Sarado is actually pretty big, a little girthier too. So it is a big guy, and it will not fit in the box. Specifically, this shit's not going to fit in the box because it is not going to be one that you're going to be taking to competition. So don't worry about it, but it is still one that you can sesh, just like, the sumo and the kaiju and stuff. You're still going to be having a good time with this kendama. So for those people who want bigger size kendama, look out. I'm not sure if it's out already because it might have been just for the release party in person right now where they sold it, but I don't know if anyone's been sharing it. I didn't find it on the Soul website. So be on the lookout. The design of the tama is the same as the Park Rex collab Dama that they did before during the tour, but instead of having like a orangish yellow warm, again, it was a warm theme. This one's coming in cold. It's a cooler winter, not wintry, but it's the same design but more blue tones within it. Maybe the first one was like sunrise. This shit's gonna be like a sunset, but like a late sunset. It's getting dark out there, so be on the lookout for that. It's coming out if it hasn't come out already. And then yes, Twisted Dama, hype for the Analog Soul double release. It looks like they're coming out with another one. They just have a few like hint shots, little teaser shots on pictures on their Instagram where you see like an analog with a base cup rim that's purple heart. There's another shot that has just the two logos in the different sizes or the different types of cans out there. So hey, be on the lookout if you were a fan of one of the two. It's interesting to see, and really the thing that I think most people want to know about is the tama. What design is it going to be? What clear? And possibly it said brick will be coming out, but what's the shape? That's what we want to know too. What's the design of the can? Really interesting to see. Okay, it's amazing. Maybe the best kendama. So that's a really cool one. And another long form one that came out was the Crom Battle at the Border. Heck, I forgot what the title was, but plus hella B-roll, I think it was added in the title. So go check that one out. That's another one that sadly I haven't watched yet because I haven't had the time to do that. Because, hey, segue, Dama Nerds, episode 54 will be coming out this week. If you are a Patreon supporter on the over KENDERTAINMENT Patreon page from $1 up, hey, it's out there already. It's up. Just put it out. So check your emails if you are, and you can get that shit. And it will be coming out later on. I have a few more posts I've been sleeping on, but I have a few more posts that I really want to do of the D-Westy episode because they were just like so good, funny, or interesting talks that we had. So I want to put a few of those up, and then it will slide into episode 54 of Dama Nerds coming out later this week. So be on the lookout for that. Talking about, hey, possible clears, De Origins just yesterday released a small batch of prototype clears over on their website. More control, they say, slow down fast movements, perfect slip to stick ratio, which, I mean, everybody is, what's perfect, depending on the play style, what you like, how much slip you like, how much tack you like. You can't really say perfect, but I understand, in this kind of, this person who is creating the kendamas, hey, saying that this is their perfect slip to stick, because most of the OGs in kendama, or, at a different type of level, if you're very early beginner style, having that like cushion clear out of the box, just having it stick like where to the point of a sessioned player will be like trying to do a one turn lighthouse, it'll topple over, it'll just catch on the edge of the base cup and just hang, just stick there and not come over. or it lands and your body instinct is telling you like get ready for the adjustment, but there's zero adjustment with those out of the box cushions. So slip to stick, it happens with everybody, or it's different with everybody. Oh, Twist is already listened to the whole thing. Hey dude, thank you. AKO happening also next week. Hey, be on the lookout for that. I think there was a Bellevue that happened just the other day as well. I didn't get information on that. Hey, news, what are you gonna do? But yeah, the Origins, if you've been interested, I still have shit. I've been pretty shit busy. I have the Origins right in here that I ordered when they were doing a bit of a sale. So I gotta open that up and do a little unboxing and do a little review that I'm gonna be putting up on YouTube later on. But again, it's still in a box and it's been there for like, I don't know, 3 weeks or something. So who knows when I'll get to it. But I need to figure out schedules and shit. Right, Dubs? Cat? Okay. But hey, the Origins, Protoclear, Nuclear is coming out. Very interesting to see and hear about. Other things where, oh my gosh, like there's been a lot more art hitting. I don't know if everyone is watching. There's been a lot more art. Of course, I was mentioning the Alyssa mod that came out for Deal With It. And then I also noticed that, Inky Cat's been very active, making a lot of Tamas. We have the Damanauts, from Rad Kendamas, Damanauts. Not talking about the OG Damanauts of, Ken Garden, San Francisco era. But Rad Kendama releasing some very, very artistic Tama designs, as well as there's been a drop with Scarce. Every time I read that, I'm like, am I saying that right? Scarce Dama coming out, or that is out right now. A lot of tag inspiration artwork on there with just a lot of line work. So it's interesting, cool to see how a lot more artists, a lot more people are getting into this artistic side of Tamas instead of just looking at different types of colors that are going to be eye pleasing or things that will help out with tracking. Of course, that's very important in kendama play, but some people also just like it because they like the type of appeal of whatever character is drawn on it, whatever kind of look it has or something, right? So it's very interesting. And of course the Rad Damas, they glow, they got that black light fluorescent jam where the glow in the dark kind of thing. So interesting to see, something that I saw like back in the day people were doing, and I always was like not a fan. I'm like, that's kind of like, it would make the Tama play weird, I felt like, but I've never messed with one specifically, so I can't really say anything, especially like the ones that are just like, here's a big face on one side and then the other side has just like some design, or it's like a void of nothing. I'm like, that might hinder your play, but if it's just going to be a collection, a shelf piece, then hey, enjoy the collection and the art. But just something that I noticed. And going on to, hey, the last post, this is a quick one, so drop questions if you're hanging out still. Stodd GT has departed from the GT family. The Stodd father, Nicholas Stodd, has said goodbye to Grain Theory, not goodbye to kendama. In his words, it's hard to put into words. He says how much Grain Theory means to me. People from my background aren't able to travel in so many places at such a young age. I have so many beautiful memories because of Jake and Matt. I'll never forget the first flight to Sakura Classic and meeting so many of my idols. I'll never forget the day Matt called me and told me I was going to Japan at 17 years old. That's a pretty awesome thing. I think my first time to Japan was around now. I was 16. To compete in a world title. I'll never forget the feeling of competing in a packed Tokyo club. There you go. And that was the Catch and Flow that he took part in that same year. There are countless others. I want to give a special thanks to all my GT teammates, past and present. There have been a lot in the past that have departed from GT, and really interesting to see where they have been, because I think a lot of them kind of have started to stay away from kendama. A lot of pros, I feel like, if they step away from a team, they kind of just step away from kendama altogether. There's a few that continue and go hard and find a new sponsor and keep it rolling. But, you know, he says, I believe at the bottom of this, the very last line, I'm not done playing kendama, just moving on to the next chapter. Chapter of life. Dude got married, I think, within this year. So, you know, sometimes you can't have a lot of time to be putting into that. And if you've stayed up with, you know, up to date with Stodd's Stodd GT _ I should say, account, not much activity. Been pretty busy with other things, with life issues. You know, when life calls, that's when a lot of these pro players will decide to kind of step back, leave it to the next generation to keep it rolling. And here we have Stodd stepping away again from GT. An infamous player. 2016, 17, Stodd was like, you know, we released Stodd Edit 4, I believe it was, and that shit was ridiculous. That many flips, the consistency, the nonchalant style was ridiculous and was nothing. No one could compare it to anybody else at that time. So he was such a great player and still lays it down, and is still, again, hand in hand with his nickname, Stodd Father. It matches so good. So congrats, Stodd, you know, and salute to the next stage that you're headed off to. Hey, and that's the Dama news for this week. Rounded up pretty tightly. There's probably a lot that I missed because in the past week, again, been pretty busy. Haven't been on the IGs checking out what's been up, what's been down. But hey, that's what I see right here. It happens. So we're going to do a little question time. I see we got 2 questions. If you got a question, go to that little question tool down there and ask me a question. And then we'll call it the end. All right, which one was it? Okay, here's one from the X-Larch. How do you feel about the situation with Jacob Schultz and the Kendama World Cup online exhibition? Oh, okay. So yeah, what was it? One of his tricks, his final trick that he was going for, he missed a rotation. I think it was like a 6 turn or something. Whatever kind of turn it was, like up to like 4 or something, 5. It was one less than what he did. Or he did one less than what he should have done, what was on the actual chart, the kendama trick that he should have been doing. So he did not get any points for that. Therefore, I think he went from first to like, they dropped him down because that was like a big one. Yeah, he did a 1.5 instead of, 2.8. That's the way the cookie crumbles. If he knew it himself, it's hard to see sometimes. If it was 2.1, he went down to third from first, right? Yeah. So, I mean, it does suck, but it does happen. It's just a part of the competition, and it's like, no shade on him, but it's kind of cool to see that, you know, it takes it to a professional level. It's not just like, oh shit, like, oh, but he did it, you know, just fucking let him slide. Like, no. Kendama World Cup, it's online, but whatever, it's still official, and it has to be not like set an example, but you know, we just can't let that shit slide. So it does suck. Sorry so much, Jacob. I'm sure that hit his heart. But also at the same time, you know, I've seen him in other online comps. I've seen the way he talks and stuff, the way he holds himself. Seems like a very chilled, laid-back dude. So he was probably like, oh yeah, like shit, like I didn't even notice, like, oh well, like, you know, third. Hey, that's still a pretty good place, you know. But yeah, it does suck, but it is what it is. On to the next question. Just one more. Here we go. Dama Squid coming in. How you liking the Origins? Okay, so Squid, yeah, it's in a box still. It's in a box. I asked for a very light setup because I like them light. It feels pretty light. I haven't put it down on a scale, which we could do right now live. Where's my scale? I just said like 75 or lighter. I'm like, give me the lightest setup you have. And I mean, but it's in the box too, right? So I can't say much. Yeah, no, I can't do anything because it's almost 300 grams, 294 grams, but it's still in the box. I'm not going to take it out right now. But I'm very much looking forward to that. I'm very much looking forward to the origins, the size of the Ken itself, as well as that hand paint that is in there. So dope to see. Hey, I think Dama over in Italy, what up, had a question that is in the chat. Have you tried quad turned sync? Oh, kendamas, if yes, what do you think about it? I have not. I don't think I have. Have I? No? I don't think so. But it is in the this newer sync shape from Sue Lab, so I don't think there'd be too much of a difference. The only thing is that it's in Spectraply. I did want to try out the craft version, but I mean, if everything's just set up to the same measurements as the Sue Lab, the new sync, the absolutes, then shouldn't be so much of a difference. Very interesting new take he has on having that base, that ring slip, that ring stop, being dropped a little down. Sorry for the cat. Being dropped down a little bit further to bring that weight a little more towards the end of it. That base cut, interesting to see. Depends on how you're playing, what you like. Personally, I feel like a lot of my Sue Labs, a lot of my syncs have a short spike, and if you got a short spike, you're gonna have more of an angle to mess with for your, or more of a balancing point that you have to figure out if you're not used to this kind of setup, which it looks like the amps are more in that stays. So if you get used to it, as you see, like, I don't know, or like the Nick Stodd, oh, that's another one. Hey, Nick Stodd, $60 for a Nick Stodd Legacy? Shh. Get it, everyone, go get it. But if you look at like a Boost, are they called Boosts or Primes? Shit. From Sweets, this guy's like, oh, look at that. I'm almost, and it's on a cushion. I'm almost vertical. So any kind of lunars are going to be a lot easier on that guy. Depends on what you like. So go check it out if you can, because, the whole deal with the Sue Lab membership and whatnot, and all the new ones that are out, like, I feel like I don't even need to talk about them on the news because they're just already sold out. And if you're not a member, then you might have not even had a chance to try to get those new Sue Labs. But hey, if you're wondering, for some reason, I don't know why, but they've decided to set the theme, this Ade scene, with all Disney characters. And if you didn't, you probably put the two and two together because, on their stories, they don't say specifically on the posts because, Disney, you don't want to mess with Disney. But on their stories, they put up like the little picture of whatever character it is supposed to be, whatever colorway from the character. So this time it's, I know, can you relax? You want to talk to, I know you always want, oh, don't pull that. You always want to hang out and talk, right? What was it? The green one, oh, it's Peter Pan. And then there's that cream color, which is Nala. No, which is not Nala. I thought it was Nala, Lion King, but no, it's Duffy the bear. There's some bear that is not a character at all on any kind of movie. It's just like a character for products that you buy when you go to Disney. It's a bear. Come on, you guys don't know Duffy? You know what? It might be a special. Oh my gosh, I gotta look it up now. It might be a special character just for Tokyo Disney. It's a stuffed bear. There's the shit. There's Duffy, guys. If you didn't know who Duffy was, see on his shit paws, he got like Mickey Mouse things. Yeah, and his face is the Mickey Mouse like silhouette. So that's who that cream, natural colored, nude colored Sue Lab Tama recent one is designed after, this bear. Hey, more insight coming at you from the Weekly Dama News. Try to help out, try to give you some information that I know or that I don't know. That's it, everyone. Thanks again for hanging out. Hey, if you just came for the end of this, This will be posted up, archived here on Instagram. Also going to be posting it up on YouTube later on, so you can scroll through a lot easier. As well as, hey, I'm going to be putting it up as well as a audio podcast that you can check out later on if you just like to listen and just put my voice in your head even more. So again, you got that as well as Dominers 54 coming out. Haven't recorded 55 yet. We have a few people who we've been eyeballing, and Rod's over in Europe still. We were supposed to be doing one this past week, but it fell through. So we'll see what happens. But I assure you, we're going to keep on rolling. Thanks again so much. Awesome. And we'll catch you all later. Keep it clean.